Hello everybody, this is Danny, back with Deep South Homestead. This is my porch time chat today. Sitting here outside, the wind's probably blowing. It's a nice sunny day, but the wind's probably blowing 25 miles an hour, so I hope that it doesn't affect the camera any with the wind noise. But I want to take this time to thank everybody who's followed me on this journey. It's not been as easy as I thought it was going to be. It's been a long time since I've been in a hospital. But I think it's been about 28 hours since I had my surgery, and I'm still in an extremely large amount of pain, not due to the surgery, just due to the gas that they pumped inside my abdomen. My body just doesn't seem to want to absorb it like they said it would, so I'm having a lot of pain with that. And I don't do the pain meds. I don't have a very high pain tolerance rating, because my theory is, as long as I feel it hurting, I won't overextend myself and actually hurt something, because they told me I can't lift over a certain amount, and certain things I can and can't do. So it kind of, with no pain meds, I kind of stay within my limits. But I just wanted to take this time to tell all y'all how much I appreciate you for your prayers, because I'm going to tell you, yesterday morning about 4:15, I was really in bad shape. And it seemed like, because we had to leave about 5 or 10 minutes till 5 because we had a long drive to get to the hospital. And about 4:20 or 4:25, there was a peace came over me that was just unreal. I mean, I was at perfect peace. This is Central Time, and I know that somewhere somebody was touching the throne of God on my behalf, and I want to tell you how much I appreciate that, because once that happened to me, I was completely calm. My pain kind of subsided. Everything just got okay. We made the trip, hour and something drive to the doctor and hospital, and was able to get into surgery. And of course, they bumped mine back because they did a guy ahead of me, but I had to lay there till like 9:30 to 10 o'clock before they actually did the surgery. But that's okay. I mean, if that's what God wanted, then that's what He wanted. I'm just in awe at how many people took time to actually lift me up before the Lord. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate that. That means a lot too. And you won't be forgotten, I'll assure you that. And all of you who have sent support out to Wanda and I want to tell you how much I appreciate that, because y'all's support has allowed us to be able to continue going while I'm going to be down, because it looks like it's going to be about a month, they said, before I'll actually be able to get back up and do anything again to amount to anything. That support will keep us going throughout this journey. Of course, we've still got the hospital bills that we're going to contend with. We're working with them on that. They was good enough to work with us. Through this, we went ahead and set up a P.O. box. I mentioned that on one of my other chats that I did. P.O. Box 462, Wiggins, Mississippi, 39577 is the address to it. And just that way people can mail something directly to us, and they don't get cheated out of part of their money getting to us, and we don't get cheated out of it. But if you do decide that you want to support us, be sure you make the check out to Wanda, because I don't want it made out in my name. Because several years ago when I applied for disability, they told me I was disabled. There was no question about the disabled part. They still turned me down because I owned my own business for so many years. And I went through this process so many times, got the same answer every time. And it just kind of ticked me off, because I've paid in for almost 40 years into a system. And I was told I couldn't have the money I paid in. So I pulled as much of my stuff out of the system as possible. I virtually almost have nothing in my name anymore in the system other than a social security number. I had several bank accounts. I closed all those. I strictly work with cash now. I don't do anything anymore. I don't have debit cards. I don't have anything. I strictly have decided to get as much out of the system as possible. And Wanda has a checking account that we keep. It's a free one she got through when she went to school. And if I was to go open a checking account, they'd have to take out so much a month, and there again, it'd be just one of them situations where it'd be more money I'd have to come up with each month just to keep a checking account. So I've decided not to do it. And we just keep hers, and we let everything go through hers that we need, which we don't really, we only have to pay a couple of bills a month through a check or a debit card. We figured that her account would be fine for that. For those of you who have supported us, once again, I want to tell you thank you. That means a lot to us. It just shows that how God can raise up people to help in a time of need. And this goes back to one of those things that I was mentioning in some of my earlier chats about you never know when a life-changing event's going to take place. Now, a life-changing event, I mentioned before, doesn't have to be a natural disaster. It doesn't have to be a man-made disaster. It can simply be a health issue. I've known for several years that there's been something wrong with me, but here in the last couple of months, I've started losing almost a pound a day. And I knew that there was something pretty serious going on. So that's when we began to look into what the problem might be, and hopefully it's going to be this gallbladder issue. We don't know yet. But to us, that's a life-changing event, because running a homestead and a farm with animals and fields and crops and, you know, chickens and all this kind of stuff, upkeep on a farm, there has to be labor. And when one of the labor forces is knocked out, then the whole labor force falls on the other person. And right now, Wanda's having to take care of the whole load, and for that, I'm extremely grateful that she's the kind of female that can do that. Now, what we did was we was given a notice about how long it would be before I could have surgery, which they set us about a week out. So what we did was, during that week, she and I worked side by side as hard as we could, as long as I could hold out, to get as much stuff done on the homestead as possible. We got, and y'all will see in the upcoming videos, because the videos are not going to stop. They've already been made. We've planted our whole place. Some things we probably we may get in trouble about, because we'd already set out our squash and some of our squash and our watermelons, and they're already up, and cucumbers, and they're already up like 4 inches high. But last night and the night before, we had freezing temperatures here. It did bite the sweet potatoes back a little bit, because we forgot to get them covered, but we did get the watermelons and the squash covered, and they've survived. So hopefully we'll be able to pull out with them all right. But we made a lot of videos during that time. Tried to get as much stuff planted and got it in. We got the corn in, the green beans in. I mean, there's just carrots. There's so many things that we got done that we would be too late on, waiting for me to get out of under the situation I'm under with this gallbladder problem. Had a bunch of baby chicks hatch out the day before my surgery. So we've had to move them out of the house and put them out into our chicken building out there under a heat lamp, hoping that they was going to be okay. And they pulled through all right. They haven't, any of them died, so they're doing good. And Wanda's able to take care of them and do a good job at it. She's, as y'all saw in one of her videos, she actually built her first fire. Not her first fire, but it's her first fire by herself. And did a real good job. I actually had to build another one this morning, and actually got the one this morning perfect, because the other one last night, she forgot a couple of steps on it, but this morning the fire was perfect. She remembered, she did a good job, and that's what it's all about. On a homestead, you want to take time to learn every little detail that you can to make things as easy as possible. You know, I took time with her, teaching her as much as I can, because you never know. I mean, she teaches me in the kitchen, and I teach her outside. We are a team. We work together. In the event that something happens to her, I can still get in and cook, and I know how to take care of stuff and do it. And she's just the same way around. You saw one where she was plowing with the tractor. It's the first time she'd ever run a tractor plowing anything, and did a fantastic job. That makes life so much easier when one person can fall in and help the other one, because I know out there, I watch all y'all's videos, and I know there's a lot of you that don't have the help on the other side that you need, and really my heart goes out to you, because to do a whole homestead by yourself, it gets tough because everything's on your shoulders. And I did that for about 20-something years here. I know what that's like. All I can say is just hang in there and, you know, try to do as much as you can, because I understand some of you have a spouse that works because you have to have an income because you got a mortgage, and you know, you've got all these different things that you just have to have money for. Wanda and I guess, are just blessed in the aspect that I paid everything off years ago, and we can actually function on a lot less income than what a lot of people can. And that's only because I listened to God when He told me to do what I did. You know, work together with your spouses on the homestead, because that's where the peace and the harmony comes in at. God never intended for a couple to not work in harmony. Because the actual truth is, one spouse is supposed to complement the other spouse. Where one has a weakness, the other one should fall in and be a strength in that weakness. And that's what I feel like with Wanda and I that we have. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, but yet we complement one another in our weaknesses and our strengths. And that's what makes a successful homestead, is being able to work with your spouse. And I hope that through this journey that we're taking y'all on through my medical problems, that you can see how that we work together and how that we make our homestead successful. And we keep everything running by the way we complement one another, because that's our goal, is to show y'all what it is for married couples to be able to work together and to be able to complement one another to keep the homestead going. Because that's the goal of this chat today, is to show you that to complement one another and to work together on the homestead to be successful. Because in a life-changing event, whether it be man-made, natural, or medical, it really takes both of you. Somebody's going to have to fall in and help. And if you don't get anything out of this video other than that, then I feel like it's been a success. I just want to tell you once again how much I appreciate y'all's prayers and your thoughts. They mean a tremendous amount to Wanda and I. So from Deep South Homestead, we love all y'all.